There's a lot of ways you can spend your time as a creative business owner, and a lot of them are necessary, like checking emails, creating content for social media, and just keeping your portfolio updated. But in all honesty, there are a lot that are just time sucks. Like creating content for social media could turn into a 3-hour TikTok marathon where you're just going down the rabbit hole under the guise of, I'm looking for ideas for TikTok. In reality, you could have been spending that same amount of time watching something on YouTube or watching an educational video to grow your skill set or learn something new. Sometimes it's so easy to get caught up in hustling or being busy or productive that you really forget to take time to take a step back and see what actions you're actively doing to be successful in your business. And so today, that's what I'm going to get into, and that's talking about how to use your creative energy productively. So before we get into my tips on how you can be creative and productive at the same time, be sure to like this video. That really helps me out. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to get more videos surrounding how to run and own a creative business and visual storytelling. It all starts with a vision. Have a vision in mind. Have a goal in mind. And that doesn't necessarily mean like your big goal, your long-term goal of being a millionaire by 25. That means like, what do I want to accomplish for this week? What do I want to accomplish for this day? What ultimately is that going to accumulate to at the end of the month? So have a vision for things that you want to do and want to accomplish within a certain time frame. And then take a step back and evaluate what actions are going to help me achieve this goal. If I want to get more blog listeners or blog readers within this month, I need to be writing blogs. I need to be making time to market those blogs and write micro content so that people can digest them and then be led to my website or my blog. But if you're watching a YouTube video on writing a blog instead of actually writing the blog, just because it's a YouTube video by your favorite blogger, that's not going to get you there. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, you're spending your time, you are busy, you are doing something that technically counts as working in your business, but it's not the same as actually being productive and actually taking the action and taking that step in achieving that vision. So think about that too, spending your time wisely and really evaluating what actions are leading you to accomplishing those visions. And that's not to say that you shouldn't take time to really learn how platforms work and learn what types of videos and what types of content and what types of skills would be necessary to learn to do well and excel at your craft and really provide the best service as a business owner and achieve your goals. But there also needs to be balance. If you're going to do a 3-hour TikTok marathon, make sure it's at 2 a.m. when you've done all the other things that you were wanting to accomplish for that day. This one's a really hard one for me because I guess I'm always looking for that next project, that next thing, that next push to create and do something different. But celebrate the small wins. Celebrate the small victories. If you got majority of the things done that you were hoping to accomplish this week, this day, this month, that's a really good thing because it's the small steps that get you to those big projects, that get you to those big moments and those big awards and acclamations and all the accolades and clout, whatever you want to call it. It's the small things that get you there. Nobody just wakes up a millionaire. Well, maybe some people do, but that's not me, and probably if you're watching this video, that's not you either. So it really does take time to put in the small steps to grow and accumulate wealth and accumulate success in whatever way you define that. So don't be afraid to say, hey, like I did this thing. I accomplished getting 200 subscribers on YouTube. Hint, hint, please subscribe. But it takes, uploading a video weekly, learning how to be consistent, learning how to get better with each video in order to get you there. So yes, somebody with 200,000 subscribers may look like a lot, but at some point they were at the 200 subscriber mark. And if they had a thought about, well, I'm so far away, or well, there's other things I could be doing to learn how to make a better YouTube video instead of just making a YouTube video, they probably wouldn't have got there. So again, just take a minute, appreciate yourself, love on yourself, and make it the journey fun. Celebrate the small wins. So I'm going to put this out there. I'm not an educator. My patience is not set up that way. Never in my life have I wanted to be a teacher and educator, work in education in any way, shape, or form. But learning to be a business owner, learning to be successful is an ongoing process. And it only gets better when you are looking for ways that you can open the door and help communicate the knowledge that you've learned over the course of time to other people. And it's not so much of a, here's what I did, here's what I was successful at, here's how you can do it too, but it's more of an experience share because there's other people that are going to want to share their experiences with you. And the more that you can continue to have these conversations and have maybe even develop accountability partners and just continue to grow and share and learn and collaborate effectively, that's going to help you as well be productive, because then it's like, okay, I know it's possible. I know other things that people have done to try to accomplish certain goals that I may also have. How can I incorporate that? How can I help other people? How can I continue to share and collaborate with other people and help them reach their goals too? Because that's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel good when you know that you've done something that worked for you and also was able to help someone else do that to work for them. And you want to continue to have those new experiences, have those new successes, have those new small wins that you can continue to share with other people, because again, that's just like what's going to continue to propel you forward. You know what I mean? No person is an island. No person gets to where they are by themselves. You can tell yourself that lie if you want, but that's not the truth. And I can guarantee it, at some point you are going to need help, even if that help is, as you define it, as people paying you for your services. That's help, you know what I mean? And so you need that support, you need that community, and you need that accountability, productivity, responsibility, and just kind of subtle reward of just being in a position to help other people. This video wouldn't be complete without a couple of great bonus tips, and these are just some things that, again, I learned from other people experience sharing and that have been really helpful for me in being productive and being consistently productive. So the first one is work in blocks. So that's one thing I really didn't do straight out of the gate, was work in blocks. So it's dedicating time for editing, dedicating time for shooting, dedicating time for answering emails and social media and kind of administrative things, really working smartly and not working harder. So for me, like, I have days where I record episodes of the podcast. I have days where I'm editing podcast videos, YouTube videos. I have days where I'm shooting videos for myself and shooting videos for clients. And then, of course, I have other blocks of time where I'm answering emails, responding to emails, collaborating and meeting with my team, and just working on creating content for myself for social media. And this has been really helpful because you don't want to have a day where it's like, man, I have a meeting, then I have a shoot, then I have to answer all these emails because I neglected them for the past 3 days. Like, it's too much. You don't want that stress. And two, you don't want to be interrupted. If you're like me, I don't want to edit and then try to like do a meeting or record an episode. My mind just isn't there. And quite frankly, it just feels like an interruption. Like, if I'm interrupted while editing, it's unlikely that I'm going to go back after a meeting. So just having those straight blocks of time to edit and dedicate to certain things. So there's two types of blocks that I'm talking about. So for shorter things like emails and social media, I dedicate maybe a 2 to 3 hour block where I just work straight through, and then I'll take a break and maybe do another 2 to 3 hour block in the afternoon for meetings or things like that. And then for shooting and editing days, I probably will block out 4 to 6 hours of my day during the day, not including, travel and setup and breakdown and those types of things. But those are typically all day events, so I try not to mix doing work where I'm sitting at a desk with work where I'm like editing or shooting. And so that's worked really well for me. I noticed that as an editor, and this person, like the person that shared this with me, shared this, and I was like, yo, like, that actually does sound like me. But when I'm editing in a 4 to 6 hour block, I'm much more productive in the 4 to 6 hours than I am in the first 3 hours. And so it's important to give yourself longer amounts of time for certain things that are more time and mentally intensive, right? Versus an email, I can answer an email. It doesn't take me that long. It may take me some research. It may take me a little bit of thinking, but it's not the same intensive process as editing or preparing for a shoot, going to a shoot, working with a client, those type of things. So that's kind of my suggestion in terms of blocks that you're creating for yourself. 2 to 3 hour blocks, 4 to 6 hour blocks for more creative, intensive things. So hope that helps you on that. It helped me a whole lot and really helped me streamline my process for how I create and how I work within my business. So my second tip is making sure that your environment is conducive for the type of work that you're doing. So when you're working in blocks, be sure to map out where that environment is going to be. So again, in the pandemic, I do think Zoom calls and virtual calls will still be a thing. And as coffee shops are opening up, people may want to get out of their house and work remotely, or not work remotely, sorry, work in co-working spaces or open spaces like coffee shops. A coffee shop probably is the best place to take a Zoom call. Just gotta, I don't know if you're ever considering that, but yeah, that's probably not the best place to take a phone call, a business call, something like that. I want to do that in my home. But if I just want to edit and get out, yeah, a coffee shop would be great for a couple hours. Just sit there, edit, relax, and just be in that kind of zone. And in my home, I don't know if other people have really felt this way, but I've definitely been a lot more in tune and sensitive to my like home environment. So I have more stuff on the wall. That collection back there has been growing. My plants, Cahaba Valley Brewing, tin can sign, but also just like If I see a pile of clothes on the floor and that pile of clothes just keeps getting bigger, that's going to disrupt me in some way. That's really has affected my mental space when I'm at home working. And then again, in my kitchen, I cook a lot, so I don't wash all of my dishes. I put them in the dishwasher. Don't judge me. You probably do it too because I just have so many containers and pots and pans and stuff like that. So if I see that pile getting big, it's like, yo, I need to put these in the dishwasher. Like, it's just little things like that really like disrupt my mental space. So declutter, decompress, be in a space that's conducive for you to work and be productive. That's like so important to me, and I can't recommend that enough. And if you're wondering why maybe like you feel like you have everything you need in front of you and you're just struggling to focus, like take a minute, declutter your space, come back, see if your mood and your energy and your focus is not improved. I guarantee you it is. I hope these help you. That's all for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.